So as you've heard, Research America is 30 years old. It was founded on January 4th, 1989, to be precise. Fast forward January 4th, 2007 was the date that the House of Representatives elected its first female speaker, Representative Nancy Pelosi. It was in March of 1989 that Dr. Louis Sullivan took office as Secretary of Health and Human Services. And we'll hear from these people soon. 30 years ago this year, in 1989, NIH Director Dr. Francis Collins played that seminal role in progress against cystic fibrosis, which we have already celebrated. This would not have been possible without the support of the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation, in addition to the fundamental research that NIH empowers. In 1989, science, whether focused on health or another goal, whether financed by the public or the private sector, drove progress, engendered desperately needed hope, and faced an uncertain future. In 1989, an economic recession threatened federal funding. The priority our nation then assigned to science seemed to be flagging. Aspiration was losing ground to apathy. Americans and people across the globe were losing loved ones to a host of unrelenting health threats, none perhaps more shocking than HIV/AIDS. The number of new cases reached 100,000 in 1989. I was, at the time, the CEO of an independent research institute in San Francisco. We were working to isolate the HIV virus. It was a time of anxiety and tragedy, but it was also a time of scientific discovery and hope. Science and advocacy, indeed activism, have changed the equation for those with HIV/AIDS then and again now. Science and advocacy are a winning combination, and they are together essential components of the mission of Research America. Our alliance was established in 1989 to advocate for faster medical, public health, and scientific progress. With all of you, and because of you, we have been part of building the budgets of NIH and other science agencies. It's always a work in progress. And we've been part of assuring that public-private partnerships are valued, that innovation is valued, that scientific freedom is protected, that the patient's voice is elevated, that evidence is the basis of policymaking. We are unrelenting in our commitment to promoting discovery and innovation as the multi-sector, multi-discipline, multi-year, multi-benefit enterprise that it truly is. On behalf of our board and my colleagues on staff, it is a privilege and pleasure to celebrate our anniversary with you. I extend a special thank you to our corporate host, Johnson & Johnson Innovation. We also extend appreciation to our future innovators sponsor, Pfizer, and a warm welcome to the young scientists you are hosting tonight. And thank you to our program partners, ACT for NIH, the American Medical Association, Horizon Pharma, Merck, Picori, Sanofi, the Staglin Family Vineyard, the reason we have such exceptional wines tonight, Us Against Alzheimer's, CEOI, and the Global Alzheimer's Platform Foundation. And we thank our contributors, Partners Healthcare, and Pharma. You will see all of our terrific sponsors in your program and on the screens during the course of the evening. Tonight, we welcome many distinguished guests, including members of Congress. U.S. Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi of California, will be here shortly. Senator Mike Rounds of South Dakota. Congressman Michael Thompson of California, Congressman Dusty Johnson of South Dakota, Congressman Adam Schiff of California, Congressman Joe Kennedy of Massachusetts, Congressman Adriano Espaillat of New York. And we're also pleased to welcome our former congressmen, many of them serving on our board, the Honorable Mike Castle, John Porter, Rush Holt, Bart Gordon, Kwesi Mfume, and also with us tonight, Charlie Dent. We also want to welcome Dr. Brett Girard, HHS Assistant Secretary for Health, Dr. Franz Cordova, Director of the National Science Foundation. We've heard already from Dr. Francis Collins, Director of the National Institutes of Health. We welcome Dr. Robert Redfield, Director of the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, Mr. Gopal Khanna, Director of the Agency for Healthcare Research and Quality, Dr. Carolyn Clancy, Deputy Undersecretary for Health for Discovery, Education, and Affiliate Networks of the Department of Veterans Affairs, Dr. Ned Sharpless, Director of the National Cancer Institute, recently named Acting Director of the Food and Drug Administration, Dr. Anthony Fauci, Director of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases, and the 2017 Research America Legacy Award recipient. Now, because I have to do my part to keep this event shorter, much shorter than this year's Oscars, I can't name every NIH director or the center directors or those joining us from the other agencies here with us this evening, but please know that we are extraordinarily honored by your presence and humbled by your impact on our nation and on our science. I also want to say that there are many people in the room tonight who have previously received advocacy awards from Research America. Just kind of raise your hands, give people a feeling for this. We're really proud you could join us.